going on, everybody? Once again, it's your boy. They call me Jim. I'm him.
I am JOPP.
And we are Real Christian 100. Alright? Yes, sir. This man is Millie Roddy. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode on our podcast.
Thank you.
Both of us are tired, man. We tired today.
Bruh.
So, for y'all's benefit, it's probably going to be a quick one, man.
We here, though.
We happy. Yeah, man.
We here,
happy
man.
that we pushed out and we made it. So, amen, man. That's what, 3-4 weeks in a row?
About 4 weeks in a row.
Four weeks. So
and I think the last two weeks we were iffy. Like, last week we were like, I don't know. This week I was like,
facts.
I don't know.
And we pushing through.
That's all it is to it,
man. I'm gonna give us our roses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a pat on the back.
I mean, yeah.
I don't got a rose.
You don't got a rose, so
That's all right. But yeah, guys. We're gonna ask that you guys, as always, give us a like, give us a comment. Please comment, man. Talk to us, interact with us, man. We want to hear from y'all, man. We want to hear what y'all think, what y'all got to say. We want to hear y'all's feedback, all that, man. Dialogue with us, man.
Please.
That's what we do. Iron sharpens iron.
Please.
That's what we does, man.
Yeah, he's tired, man.
So yeah, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share, ring that notification bell, and always tell your mama, your baby's mama, and your baby's mama's mama.
And the fathers too.
Yeah, you gonna get it one of these days, man.
I got it 1 week. I got it when we this was like a minute ago, son.
Yeah.
When we first started talking.
1 out of 9.
1 out of about 9, but hey.
Yeah, man, that shows what your range is. You about 10%. You a 10% guy.
That's cool.
You about 10%.
I give 10, the Lord gives 90.
Hey, that's good news, man. I see what you did there. But yeah, y'all, today we kind of switched it up a little bit, man. Actually, no, we didn't. We came up with this topic. It just came today off of just something. I was talking to JOPP. I was talking to JOPP about just some things I was feeling, some things I was going through, and I'm gonna probably have to get a little bit vulnerable, talk about a little bit of something I don't really want to talk about. You did, but. Yeah, man, today we want to talk about what are you worth? Like, what are you worth? Nowadays, you hear everybody talking about, I know my worth and I know my value and self-care and what I'm going to do, me and all this stuff. And, I'm trying to find myself and figure myself out. But I really wonder how much time people put into that. And when they do, where's their attention?
Yeah.
Like, where are they seeking out that worth and that value and all that stuff? So today I was just going through it, man. I have a kind of higher up position inside my job. I manage a lot of people. And, sometimes, and I'm sure lots of people can relate, regardless of what level you're at in your job, you sometimes you just feel devalued. Like, you feel that you're really, busting your tail and, you putting in all this work and, you're stretching yourself and, you're trying to do all these things, even when you're overwhelmed and don't really want to. And, you just don't feel the recognition. You don't feel value. You don't feel appreciated and things like that. And, it can really, 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 really get to you if you don't really understand your value, if you don't understand your worth and everything. And for me, my value and my worth comes strictly and only from Jesus Christ. So it's somewhere in Genesis, man. Like, I had to remind myself, that I'm made in the image of God.
Amen.
That I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made. My wife this is crazy. My wife is really big on affirmations and speaking, life over yourself and stuff like that. That refrigerator is blowing me, so I'm about to cut it off for just a second. Give me 1 second, y'all. And we back. Yeah. So yeah, my wife, she's really big on affirmations and, just speaking life over yourself. And, she's doing this law of attraction journey things, just, trying to really take control of her mind and, her emotions, feelings, and things like that. So I'm not, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not big. I think vision boards are cool. That's not my thing. All that, like, she goes into the mirror and she speaks affirmations and stuff over herself, which is dope. And it's actually very powerful, but it's just not, it's just not something I do or something I necessarily bang with. So last night, she prays for me every night. And maybe not last night, 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was 2 nights ago. I asked her, I said, pray that I find the desire and the drive to affirm, find, do these affirmations and speak these things over my life and things like that. And then that scripture of, just being fearfully, wonderfully made, and, you're made in the image of God. And then me just feeling the way that I was feeling today with work and everything is like, okay, God, I see you, man.
Makes sense now.
Like, God, I see you, man. I see what you're doing, man. Because if your mind and heart isn't focused on Christ and Christ alone, I mean, it's easy to allow other things to define you. Like, I'm up here getting worked up because I'm working hard and nobody's like, oh, Greg, I see the work that you're putting in. And that stuff is good and it's necessary and it's needed. Yeah. But it can't be, I can't hold it at such a high regard that it's like, it's not crippling me, but it's greatly affecting my life and my day. Yeah. Because, I was talking to you, I was rapping to you, and I was just like, bruh, like, this is whack. Yeah, like, I don't, why do I feel like this, and why am I letting this stuff affect me at this level? So, for me and what I believe that it's very, very important that when you're seeking self-love and, trying to understand your worth and, all that, it all starts with God.
Facts.
It all starts there because that's our creator. He created us. He said that before we were formed in our mother's womb, he knew us. All of the numbers of hair on our head are numbered. So, if you're really trying to discover who you are and your truths and find your value and your worth, it has to start with God and God alone. It has to start there.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. What's your thoughts?
I'm just gonna say, that's like, just for example, as an analogy, that's like saying I want to be the best basketball player ever, but you have a tennis racket and a tennis ball in your hand. If that makes any sense. It's
right.
You don't even have the right tools to even know how to play basketball.
That boy deep.
Now I'm just saying, it just randomly hit me, bro. So it's like, and then like how you were saying, you like talking about speaking words of affirmation and asking God to show you your value and your worth. It's crazy because that's how God shows you your value and your worth is through the pain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow,
that's literally how he does it. I mean, he does it through the pain. I mean, everything that the people went through in the Bible, Apostle Paul, I mean, he went through pain. You know what I'm saying? He wrote letters for us in the midst of his pain, in the midst of his suffering, and didn't even consider it worthy enough to be compared to Jesus and his suffering. Is exactly what he said. Basically what he was going through isn't even worthy to be compared against what Jesus went through. And so it's like you said, it starts with God. If you keep it with that mindset that, okay, Christ suffered the ultimate suffering, came in here in this world as a servant, washed his disciples' feet and Judas who betrayed him, and he knew he was going to betray him and still did it. It's like he came in so humble and so meek. And it's like we're asking God, like, Lord, make me, like, we'll pray a prayer like, Lord, make me humble. And it's like, all right, bro, well, if you want to be humble, you're not just going to turn into a monk the next day and master your emotion. You're going to go through pain,
You're going to get humbled.
You're going to get humbled, bro. Like, that's why I'm always so careful nowadays of what I pray for, because I'm like, bro, the process of what you have to go through is painful. It's literally painful, bro. Like, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to feel good at all. But the end result is what is beautiful. What happens when you come out of the situation, it's like God molding you and shaping you, and it just looks so much more beautiful on that end. We don't get to see the full picture. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just to touch on what you were saying. And just about worth, man, like you were saying, with like self-worth, it has to start with God. Like, I think about, there's certain things I do in my life. This is me personally. There's things that I do, and to me, it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
For example, the situation today, bro. I'm gonna mention it just because. So, me and my fiance, are going out this weekend to the beach, and I got a cheap hotel, not thinking nothing of it. I was like, yeah, it's a hotel. I'm looking for the cheapest price possible.
Literally, y'all.
Yeah, the cheapest prices we can get. The cheapest prices we can get, for hotel rooms. And I found the cheapest prices. But the thing about it was the hotel was trash. The hotel was just trash, to be blunt. I didn't really pay attention to the pictures. But what I'm learning to still is that if you don't really know your value and your worth, there's certain things you'll do, and it may not be an issue for you, but it could be problematic even though you can't see it. For me, I thought nothing of it.
Right.
That's an issue. You can't just be going out with your future wife and you guys are going to hang, have a good time, and you book like rooms for trash cans.
I'm going to give you the bare minimum.
Yeah, so it's like, in a way, it's like you're not really showing her and you're not showing yourself, like, you know what, I don't have to, that's not the kind of person I am anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it's kind of like there's a value and a worth that ties into that.
Right. When you don't know your worth,
yeah,
you belittle
what
you're capable of or
literally,
what you deserve.
Literally, bro. And so I was like, man, I was thinking about it today and I was like, wow. And this is 2 days before we're about to go. It just hit me. I'm like, I don't know if that was God or what, but I'm like, this ain't the move, bro.
Right.
This ain't the move. And when I was telling my friends, they were like, dog, why would you book that? Nothing was wrong in your brain. And I was like, nah.
Nothing? Like nothing.
Nothing.
Like you said, all right, this is the one.
I had no problem, bro, until I looked at the pictures. And I was like, I booked that? But what I'm thankful for is that we're not actually going to that hotel. So that's what I'm thankful for. You know what I'm saying? Is that sometimes, I'm not even trying to be super deep, but sometimes you see the ugliness when it's too late. I'm gonna be honest.
Facts.
Sometimes you see the ugliness and
deep.
you see all the ramifications of your actions and it's too late because afterwards you're like, dang, man. And now it's like, okay, I learned a lesson. Now let me. The beautiful thing is, even though it may seem too late, you can still learn a lesson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's like, it's too late. It doesn't always have to be too late.
Right.
If you know your
control that.
Yeah, if you know your value and your worth and you trust God who has given you dominion over all the earth, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to always make those same mistakes. You can stop yourself beforehand like, hold up. This might not be the move. You know what I mean? So yeah, my word of encouragement to y'all out there is know your worth and your value, but you have to understand that your worth and your value comes only from God because he's the only one who created you. Like society and culture, they'll try to tell you what your worth is. And the reason why we're programmed to listen to what they tell us is because they're constantly feeding us this stuff every single day.
Right.
And if you're not feeding your spirit every day, somebody's going to be feeding you. Right. Something's going to be feeding you. And if you continue to plug into the wrong things, you'll take all that toxic mentality, that mindset, toxic environment, and you'll begin to become what you're succumbing to, basically. You know what I mean? So it's more so like, in order to know your worth, you really, really, really have to seek the Lord. You cannot know your true worth without him. You can't. You can't.
It's like you can't go to something created.
Yeah, exactly.
to find out
That's the wild part.
Who you are, how you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
You have the only one that has the answer to that question is the creator.
That's it. Makes sense.
Right. Yeah, so if I'm going to you trying to understand who I am, or I'm going to my wife trying to understand who I am, my mother and my father who birthed me, and think that they can tell me everything about, me and my value and my worth and everything like that, I'm going to be lost.
You're going to be lost, bro.
I'm going to be conforming to the image of a man.
Yeah, you are. And even at a job, even at your job, so basically at our jobs, whatever job you work at, you work a 9 to 5, and your worth and your value is contingent upon what they're telling you. And that's not your true value.
Right.
Your true value is not because somebody says, okay, this is how much you're worth. This is how much you're worth. Here's your raise. That's not what you're worth.
Right.
That's what you're allowing somebody else to tell you you're worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the more we begin to have that mindset that if God is really creator of the entire universe, and I'm made in his image, his exact imprint, then why can't I have more? It doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire and super prosperous, but it's like, why can't you have more? Why do we settle for less all the time? Even if you don't actively do it, it's a mindset thing first. Your mind has to say, you know what? I'm not going to let somebody else tell me my worth. And I was doing that. I was doing that for years. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, like you said, you have to know your worth in God alone.
Right.
Man.
And it takes work. It takes work, and it takes time. It's not like you
about
to go to God and be like, "Hey, yo, God,
word,
tell me, tell me who I am. Tell me about myself." And like doing that, like you said earlier, is painful.
Yeah.
Like when you have to look into the mirror and really assess yourself and look at your life and your behaviors, your actions, your mindsets, your influences, your circle, the people around you, and stuff like that. Like it's like you begin to realize some real truths
That's a fact.
about you. Like when you're talking about it, when you're asking for humility, it often comes from being humble. You know, God says that he gives wisdom openly. But oftentimes, in order to receive wisdom, you have to go through something. Like wisdom is a knowledge that comes from experience and actions and things like that. Of course, God can give you supernatural wisdom to just be like, oh man, this man is smart. This man is smart. But yeah, man, like your worth, your value, it has nothing to do with your assets. It has nothing to do with anything financial. It doesn't have to do with, you know, how many Bitcoins you got or, you know, how much is in your stocks and stuff like that. Because there are billionaires committing suicide.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, there are people, you look at them and they living their life and they partying and look like they're having so much fun and partying and got all these joints, or, you know, they chilling with all these dudes and they're depressed. They're alcoholics. They're drug addicts. Bro. You know, they overdose and stuff like that. And a lot of times just because people is hurting, people is still, they're trying to chase something.
They
they're trying to chase something because they can't find it in, you know, all the places that they're looking. I am happy that this turned out the way it did.
This turned out good, bro.
Because
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because we wasn't rocking.
We don't plan these we plan the podcast the day we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like literally.
To keep it fresh.
And that's just the way we do it, because it keeps it fresh, it keeps it alive. I know some other people like to prepare with super Bible verse, and that's cool, you know what I'm saying? But the way we do it is like we just flow with it, you know what I mean? And we didn't even want to do this particular at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At all.
It was a press.
Yeah, man.
That was good, man.
Though, man. It always turns out good when we don't want to do it.
Right,
That's
right.
wild.
Yeah, man. So I'll say, just closing out words, man. You know, when it comes to worth and value and self-care, self-love, and all that, it has to start with God. It has to start with God. Anything else is going to lead you astray, man. And I'm not saying that to say that you don't matter and, you know, your feelings and thoughts don't matter. They do, but they don't matter as much as what God has to say about you. God is your creator. God is the one that fashioned you, made you, knows everything about you. So if you're trying to really find yourself and find your value and find your worth, it starts with Christ and Christ alone.
Fact. And to touch on that, you know, it's funny how you said, like, to find yourself, because we live in a society where everybody is all about self-care. And because we don't truly know ourselves like we think we do, only God really knows who you are. We think we know who we are. Of course we would. If you created something, for example, when you have children, your children run around, they think that they know right from wrong. When you see them obviously making mistakes, they don't know right from wrong the way they think they do. But they, in their minds, really truly believe they do. And a lot of us are like looking for self-care, self-love, and we're looking at all these celebrities and all these people that promote self-love and self-care, and it's cool to have little ways to do that, but ultimately you do not know how to love yourself. And the whole self-care thing is really, I'm not gonna lie, it's really not even as real as we think it is. Jesus says, like, to know him, you have to deny yourself. So
That's
it's
deep.
just so countercultural to what the Bible teaches. Like Jesus tells you, if you want to follow him, take up your cross, which is to deny yourself. The rich young ruler. I'm not trying to be super deep, but before we close out, the rich young ruler asks Jesus, like, what must he do to follow him? And he basically gets his resume and shows Christ, like, I have the credentials. And Jesus is like, okay, cool. Now sell everything you own. Sell your possessions. So you can see right there that he thought in his mind he had what it takes to follow Jesus, but he really didn't. We think we know each other more than what we really know. You do not, and I do not. We don't really know each other the way we think we do. Only God does. And in order to be able to access that kind of knowledge and wisdom and understanding, you have to literally deny yourself. If you don't, you know what I'm saying, you're deceiving yourself. That's it, bro.
That's good stuff, man.
That's it.
That's good stuff, man.
Praise God.
As always, y'all, we thank you so much for tuning in, man. Continue to spread the word, man. We trying to spread the word to y'all, so y'all spread the word to everybody else. And as always, we thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to catch y'all next week. Don't forget to tell your mama, your baby mama,
And your baby's mama.
All right? Until next week, we love y'all.
Peace.
Thank you, and we out.